debate. I just wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, ultimately, confession is for sin. But I'm sure that there's people who have walked the earth who don't confess because they haven't committed sin. So why would they confess it?
Who would that be? Because even
I have no clue. I'm not aware. I'm not personally aware of any. I'm just saying that it's not logically impossible.
I mean, do you think we actually ever truly achieve absolute theosis in our
Yeah, there have been. Yeah, I think that there are people who have achieved theosis. Yeah.
And that would be a saint or just a normal person?
I don't think all saints have achieved theosis, and I think some normal people have achieved theosis. Hard to say. It's impossible for us to read their heart. We don't know for sure. But it seems like it's inside the realm of possibility, considering there have been billions of people walking this earth. Just like I think that there's people who have achieved the spirit of Antichrist.
Yeah.
Plus, also, why would it say in Revelations that it's achievable? It talks about how it's achievable in Revelations. Because it says you must do this in order to.
All of these, look, all of these kinds of insane ideas came from the Protestant Reformation. Mm-hmm. This idea that you're born to sin, right? Mm-hmm. You're not born to sin.
No.
Okay?
No.
You're not born of a sinful nature. Your nature is not that. You're fallible. Your nature is fallible. But that doesn't mean it's in your nature to sin. No, I don't know where that doesn't even make sense. Think about it for a second.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it just seems like even on a biological basis, people are very self-centered, very self-oriented, and they will do that at the expense of others.
It can be. I'm talking about yeah, this is so you're a biological determinist now? You're born a serial killer?
No, not necessarily.
No. There's no biological determinism. Okay? And there's no determinism on your soul, or it would negate free will. How could you have the free will not to sin if you're born to sin?
So you do have a lot of very primal instincts and drives that will lead you to do sinful, self-centered behavior, and you're supposed to overcome them by your higher brain to have self-control and not do those things because you understand what's right and wrong.
Yeah, but how do you understand what's right and wrong?
I think we're born with a little bit of innate understanding of what's right and wrong, but primarily from...
Well, that's weird. I thought we were born to sin. Wait, that's a really strange duality. We're born knowing right from wrong, but we're also born to sin? Meaning that you have the foreknowledge that you're doing something wrong and you just do it anyway because you just can't help yourself? That doesn't sound like the ontology of any humans I'm aware of.
Well, I do think most people seem to have, and you call it like the ick, where they have just this very visceral reaction to knowing what's right and what's wrong, even if they're not.
Yeah, so that seems contrary to the idea that they're born to sin.
As a Christian, I look to God and the Bible and the church to tell me what's truly right and wrong.
So I just want to make sure I get this position correct. You believe that a baby comes out of their mom and is already sinning, that their nature is to sin? A baby's nature. Like when a baby dies, did a baby sin already? Is the baby paying for the sins of Adam?
So what's taught in the Protestant churches, and I think the Catholic Church as well, is that
not in the Catholic Church. No way. No.
Well, hear me out. Is that initially when you're born, you have a sinful nature, but you're not responsible for that until you reach an age of reason.
Well, that's convenient. Well, that's awful convenient. So let me get this right. You're born of a sinful nature until you hit the age where you can distinguish right from wrong, meaning you have a choice to sin or not, but you just have to.
And then you have free will.
That's super weird. So you just
have free will, but you have an inclination towards sin. Which is why parents...
okay, so wait. Okay, so you have an inclination towards alcohol, but you have to drink?
do you have an influence? I mean, there are genes that predispose you toward alcoholism.
I agree. Do you have to drink?
But no, you have a choice to override that with
Right. So if you have a choice to commit no sin, why is it logically impossible that there's people who just don't commit sins?
Well, if they never committed a sin, what would be the need for God saving us then?
You still would have to go through Jesus Christ, who is the gateway to heaven. He said, I am the way. And by the way, if they're not committing sins, then they're following in the footsteps of Christ, which they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even understand the contradiction.
So a sin is an action and a consequence. It's not in the nature.
An action and a consequence. It's not in the.
So if I follow your logic,
Mm-hmm.
your logic is that you are biologically born to sin and you just can't help it. You're going to, no matter what. You have no choice in the matter. It's going to happen, no matter what. That's really strange. And by the way, let me ask you this: if this is true, okay, if babies, if they're not responsible for sin, when they die, do they go to heaven?
I think they do because they're not able to understand what's right and wrong. Even though they
Great. Then why aren't you a big supporter of abortion? You're just giving them a one-way ticket to heaven.
Because I think there's a right to life too. So
Wait, that's really weird. If you give them a right to life, that's super weird. If you give them a right to life and they're alive, they can sin and then they'll go to hell.
Well, by this logic, murdering people would just help them on to purgatory, and we clearly don't do that.
I don't believe in purgatory. I'm an Orthodox.
I thought you guys did, don't you?
No, that's Catholics. Catholics believe in purgatory, not Orthodox. We don't believe in purgatory.
Okay, well, you'll help them onto heaven then if you were to just murder them. But
how would you help them onto heaven? Their nature is that they're sinful, right? So every aborted baby gets a one-way ticket to heaven.
That's what we believe, yeah. Because
so if every aborted baby gets a one-way ticket to heaven, I can assure you a way which you can give every human being a one-way ticket to heaven.
How would I give everyone a one-way ticket to heaven?
Well, it's simple. The final, you just implement a government policy and you say, this is going to be the last generation, but we're going to send 1 billion people straight to heaven.
But this is ridiculous. But why?
Well, wait. I don't know. It's not ridiculous. Let me make sure I get this right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume you have button A and button B. You have two buttons. Okay. Mm-hmm. Button A assures that 1 billion people go to heaven, and button B assures that half the people go to hell and half the people go to heaven. Which button would you push?
Well, I would not usurp God's power and authority and decide.
You have to push a button. Stick with the hypothetical. You have to. There's a gun to your head. You have to.
I mean, obviously, I would choose A in the interest of having more people go to heaven. But
right. That's right. So testing your logic, the most moral thing we can do. The most moral thing we can do is kill all the babies because they go right to heaven.
But you're making me assume to basically usurp the power of God to decide who lives and who dies. And that's not my appropriate role.
Well, why not? You're sending them all to heaven. You're literally giving them a one-way ticket to heaven. But what's the problem here?
Because we clearly...
In fact, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow and thank an abortionist. I'm going to be like, you know what? Thank you for sending your child to heaven. If they were born into this world, why, they might have sinned. And then they could have gone to hell. You really did them a favor.
Because God set it up where we're supposed to be born and have free will to choose if we're going to sin or not. And he hopes we'll choose him.
Yeah, but I just found a great loophole. I just found an excellent loophole. All I have to do is go to an abortionist and be like, listen, do you want to send 20 people to heaven? And when they say, yeah, I'll be like, okay, so here's what you do. You go and you fuck a random dude and you get pregnant and then you go have an abortion. And then I guarantee you're going to send 20 people straight to heaven.
But wouldn't that work the same with a completely Orthodox worldview as well? I mean,
No, we would not never be arrogant enough to make a salvific claim. We would never be arrogant enough to do so, ever. And yet here, with your Protestant pride, you just couldn't help it, right? All dogs go to heaven. All babies go to heaven.
But the
Okay,
Orthodox
great.
all
So,
babies go to heaven.
so
So if
then
they're born without
we
a
don't
sin.
we don't make salvific claims because we're not insane. We don't make salvific claims
But why
ever.
the Orthodox worldview, if you have a baby that's never sinned, and you're saying they don't have a sinful nature, they've never
How do you know
committed.
it's never sinned? How do you know they've never sinned? How do you know they've never sinned? How do you know that?
Well, if you're saying they're not born with a sinful nature and they've never committed the acts,
Uh-huh.
then by that logic,
How
they
do you
would.
know they've never committed the act? How do you know they've never committed the act? How do you know that?
Because a baby doesn't have the ability to comprehend right and wrong.
Oh, great. So now you're making salvific claims again. It's nice that you, at the one hand, say only God can judge, and here you are judging, making salvific claims about babies. In fact, you're so sure in your salvific claims that all babies go to heaven. So by your logic, hey, I'll just go pay a chick to have 20 abortions. I just sent 20 people to heaven. You can't get more rewards than that. In fact, I'd say I sent more people to heaven by killing 20 babies than people who preach at church. Because I know they got a one-way ticket.
But I don't like what do the Orthodox Christians believe happens to a baby that dies or is killed?
We don't make salvific claims.
So you say there's absolutely no
There
way you
is no belief in what happens to babies when they die because we don't make salvific claims. We don't know. We have no idea.
you claim complete inability to know if the child goes to heaven or hell.
There is
Well,
it's impossible to ever know who goes to heaven or hell. Not
Right.
just a child.
But in theory,
No,
I mean,
in theory, it's impossible to know. Who knows? Do you know or does God know?
well, ultimately
Who
only
knows?
God knows.
Do
But
you know or does God know? Well, then why are you sitting here making salvific claims, lady?
because I can judge based on like I look at you and you claim to be
Oh,
Christian, and I see that you appear to
only
be.
God can know, but you also can know. Okay, got
Well,
it. Yeah,
I
only
can't know
God can know, but you also can know.
I can't know 100%.
Yeah, so then you can't know.
Good
So then you
idea,
can't know. Yeah, so then you can't know.
but I can get a good idea of a guess. I can make an educated guess.
So, well, okay, yeah, you could, great. You can make a guess. That's fantastic, but you don't know. So if you don't know, why would you make a salvific claim? You're instructed specifically not to make salvific claims because you don't know and you can't know. And you're told specifically you can't know. And so not to do that.
Well, even
You're
I
not
mean,
supposed
Number
to.
one thing you're told, the number one thing you're told is don't do that because you don't know.
well, we
And
don't
you
know
can't
for
know.
I agree that we don't know for any like one individual person, but we know in
No,
theory
you don't know.
that
No,
if
you don't know in theory. You don't know in theory. Your theory is that you don't know.
no, my theory is that if I know that someone in theory has accepted Christ and is saved and is becoming like Christ and bearing all the
Oh,
fruit,
wait. So babies,
and
that's really weird. That's really
well,
weird.
if
So
you're an
Jesus
adult,
Christ, so
then
your earlier criticism is, why did Jesus Christ come and die for the sins of people
well, then
when,
how
if
can you
some
ever?
people, hang on, stop. If some people never sin. I go, wow, that's really weird. Why would he come and die for babies who've never sinned?
Well, I guess that's what I'm not understanding is that if everyone has
No,
to.
I'm not understanding. Explain this to me. If the criticism is, why would Jesus Christ come and die for men who have never sinned, right? Wouldn't that logic equally apply to babies by your worldview?
Because he took the punishment of all their original sin on him. by dying on the cross.
Well, then by that logic, you have no original sin, and you're admitting that men can live their whole lives without sinning.
Well, I think there's a difference
So,
between original
You just
sin.
got caught. You just got caught in a contradiction. Just so you know, that's what one looks like, and now you're experiencing what's called cognitive dissonance. You don't
But
know
no,
exactly what to do with this information.
Two things. One is a sinful nature, quote unquote, original sin, and then there's the Greek word you guys use as amartema, which is the act of actually sinning. And so, the fact that you're born with original sin that inclines you toward committing the acts. The acts are what not only what God or what Jesus died for, but also the original sin.
Oh, wait. So just to get this, just to get this right, let's just use this logic again.
Mm-hmm.
How would that preclude people from going through their whole life without sinning?
I just don't.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right? Oh, you just don't think. Oh, I just don't think so. What a great argument. I just don't think so. Oh, fantastic. So what about this precludes men from going their whole life without sinning?
My understanding is that if you're born with a sinful nature, you will sin if you become, old enough and coordinated enough to do so.
So Jesus Christ came and died for the babies who commit no sin?
He would have died for any original sinful nature.
So they're born. So then the most just and moral thing we can do is kill babies. We're back to that.
But why would that not be the same claim under an Orthodox worldview?
Because we don't make salvific claims. We don't know if babies go right to heaven. We have no idea.
But then how do you know that you're saved if you can never make a salvific claim?
We don't. That's what theosis is about. We don't know if we're saved. We have no idea.
What faith is.
How could you? Are you saying? Wait, are you saying that you're the only person on planet Earth who knows that they're saved? That's interesting.
Well, I suppose there is an element of faith, but I would say that I know that I am
There's
saved.
there's no element of faith.
Wait. Hang on. So you know that you're going to heaven.
I have faith that I am. Yeah,
Okay, so then you don't. So then you don't know.
Strongly.
So then you don't know.
Because faith is.
Well, do you know? So let me ask this a different way because it's very evasive again. Do you know you're going to heaven?
I mean, for me, my faith is so strong that I would say I know that I'm going to heaven.
Perfect. Okay, so then I guess Jesus Christ is a liar, and his apostles are liars when they say that nobody can know. You, though, you can know. You were the one person who broke the mold. Man. Yeah, I mean, should we call you a saint from now on?
But the thing is, I cannot prove it. That's why it's faith.
Yeah, I know you can't prove it because you don't fucking know. That's why you can't prove it.
I mean, there's always that element. This isn't science where I can do the experiment and prove it to you. It is a faith-based knowing.
You know?
You don't.
What's the difference between knowing and having faith? I guess.
So let me ask you a question. Am I going to heaven?
I think, I mean, again, so I can't make the salvific claim for you, but based on what I see.
All right, you can't make a salvific claim. You can't make a salvific claim. You can't make a salvific claim.
I can't 100% say for you, but I can make an educated guess.
Yeah, but you can't make a salvific claim, can you? So you can't make a salvific claim?
I cannot know your heart the way God can, so I can't ever make a salvific claim for one.
Right, there we go. You can't make a salvific claim, but how can you make a salvific claim on a baby then? Yeah, it makes no sense, right? This is fucking stupid. It makes no sense.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, I guess.
Hey, Melissa, do you do the
Why am I laughing
stochastic
decay? Because I'm completely right, and logic wins again.
I'm sorry, say that again, Josie.
Do you wave your arms like at church? Do you do the arm waving thing?
No, I've never waved my arms at church.
Okay.
You're thinking of like the Pentecostal churches? Is that what you're thinking of? Where they like
Well, no,
wave
it's just like the
their hands in
Protestant church kind of have a way of making it a
Well-
little cringy for outsiders.
Well, when you say Protestant, you have to realize you're referring to literally like 1,000 plus offshoots of offshoots that all have their own. A lot of them have their own little weird things that they do. I mean, I think that's why. I mean, this is why Andrew sees so many Protestants on his channel going, maybe I should look into Orthodoxy, because they're frustrated with the amount of ridiculousness that goes on in a lot of the Protestant churches. I mean, I'm a Protestant, but it's really hard to find a reasonably based church because there's a lot of BS that goes on that's clearly not in the Bible in a lot of the churches.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that earlier tonight. Michelle gives Romans 3.9 summary. No one is righteous. All are under sin. I'm not really. I don't like just single verses out of context personally, but that's what she wrote.
I don't.
Not sure what the context is there. So, Andrew, that was fairly interesting. It took us a while to get to faith. That took a long time.
I mean, there's a number of verses in the Bible that say that all men have sinned, like in Romans.
Yeah, but do you understand why I get so frustrated with biblical cherry picking? Do you want me to explain it to you? The reason I get so frustrated with biblical cherry picking from people is because God has a nature. The nature is the logos.
Right.
Logic is part of the nature of God, gifted to us as part of the nature of God. So I always know when somebody's cherry picking biblical passages, when the shit that they say is logically incoherent. That would go against God's nature. That's why I reject it so often. So I'm like, I don't even fucking care what you say about what you think the Bible says, because if it's logically incoherent, I never even have to contend with what you say the Bible or what you claim the Bible is saying. It can't be logically incoherent. If it's logically incoherent, it goes against the nature of God.
I mean, I very much agree with that, but there are multiple verses that say that we are born into
Well, then
sin.
you need to make them logically coherent to me first
And they all
before you.
seem-
I don't care about your Protestant prattle. If it's logically incoherent, which it already was, it's rejected. The prattle for Bible cherry picking, so that we endlessly go through nonsense, so it's disproven time and time and time again. Make it logically coherent first. Make a logically coherent claim first, then back it with scripture.
But even like in, is it John, where it says in the beginning was the word?
I don't care. I literally don't care. I don't care. It's just Protestant prattle. I don't give a shit. Make a logically coherent argument first. First principles.
But like when it says in John, it says if we confess our sins, he's faithful and
I
just.
don't care. I literally don't care. I don't care.
It goes on
Make a logically coherent argument first, and then back it with scripture. Tell me what you think a thing is. So say all people need to be baptized to go to heaven. Say that, and then you can logically demonstrate that, and then you can show the verse to back it. So do it that way. Otherwise, I just dismissed it outright because it makes no sense to me. If it's not logically coherent, I don't care what verse you pull up. It's unnecessary at that point.
Well, I'm trying to make the argument that we have all sinned. And if it says in 1 John, where it's talking about the word and logos, it says if we have not sinned, if we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar and his word is not in us. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us.
I need you to first make it logically coherent, original sin. I don't care about biblical cherry picking until it's logically coherent. Thus far, it has not been. So I don't care.
But I mean, those
verses
directly follow the verses you were referencing.
No, the verses are illogical.
logos.
The verses are logical to be pulled up in context unless there's a logical argument.
That whole passage is talking about sin and how
It's like it's literally. I'm gonna find a blunt object and strike myself with it. It's like talking to a
Andrew,
brick
be
wall.
nice.
when it says like in I'm bad with verses. I think it's Romans. None is righteous. No, not one. No one understands. No one seeks for God. They have all turned
Okay.
aside.
Arthur, I think that's if they sinned and then they lied about it, and then that would be like kind of a sin. Like it's not because they're of sinful nature.
There's nothing in
I
tree.
think what he's saying though is he's talking about like we're under the penalty of
Can you? Okay, so let me give you a counter. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Athro, can you pull up Corinthians 14:34?
Let me Google it. Corinthians 13:34. Do you use I can pull up a specific version. Is it King James that you use? Is that what you
It
guys
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what version.
Okay. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
Great. So, do you have a husband at home?
I don't, unfortunately, no.
Yeah. So you should get one so that you can ask him about these things, and maybe he can talk some sense into you.
No, but I don't have a problem with like that verse in the Bible. Like we were actually discussing, we were calling it the feminization of churches and how the sermons are like 10 minutes long and it's all sing song, namby-pamby, let's all feel good about ourselves stuff. And I asked I think legitimately, what would like, and then they were saying that women are the only ones that come to church because it's all catered toward women and kids and not toward actual men. And I said, well, as a woman, what would I even begin to do about that? Because
yeah. But
I certainly can't take a
wait.
leadership. And it's not.
Let me help you out with something.
Yeah.
What is the church?
The church, so generally speaking, would be the body of believers.
That's right, the body of believers. And do you
Arm
agree that
waving.
So do you believe that I'm a believer and you're a believer?
Yes.
Then we're in church right now. And
You
what does
need to
Corinthians
know
what
yourself.
does Corinthians tell you to do?
It tells me to shut up.
That's right. Tells you to shut up. And if you need correction, go to your husband. Right. But other than that, not to countermand me in any way, shape, or form. Right.
But
Because you're in church right now.
well, I'm on the internet right now. But I agree with
No,
that.
wait, no. Wait, no. What did you just say the church? What did you just say the church was?
Well, it says in the verse, it says, let your women keep silence in the churches. So there it's more referring
Yeah. No. What is the
meeting
church?
and gathering
What are churches? Churches are just a body of believers, right?
in the generic sense, yes. I mean, it can also
Yeah. So we're all believers.
refer-
We're all believers. We're all gathered. We're talking theology. What must you do?
Shut the fuck up
Shut the fuck up. Right. I mean, that's what it says.
in a nice manner.
Now, I mean, if that seems
Nice.
logically coherent, right?
I mean, I don't have a problem with women being silent and submissive in church. I think that's appropriate, and the men are supposed to be the leaders in the church.
Yeah, but this is the church. Isn't it a body and assembly of believers by your own logic?
Well, we haven't really assembled for the point of worshiping God. And
We're assembled right now for the purpose of discussing theology.
And we have been for an hour and a half.
Yeah. What's your role?
I don't think it applies to an independent.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's more of that. I don't think it applies. I don't think it applies to me. I don't think. I feel. I don't think. I feel.
But I feel like you should be nice.
A whole lot of thinking and a whole lot of feeling. Not a whole lot of arguments, though.
But like in all sincerity, who am I supposed to ask if I don't have a husband? And my
Ask
father.
a priest. Go ask it. You're supposed to go ask a priest.
Get the priest to help you get a husband. To
That's
ask.
But anyway, look, I got to go to bed.
Oh, did I help you?
I
Did I help you get
appreciated the conversation as
I
always.
appreciate it very much because I've been trying to read more about Orthodox Christianity and understand it better.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
So
Andrew, just wanted to say hi.
Oh well, hi. I got to
was
get
wondering,
rolling though.
What's
I
what's
can't. I'm
one
sorry,
thing?
dude. I can't stay and answer questions. I got to
Okay,
get at least an hour's sleep. I got a flight to catch. But thank
no
you.
worries.
Thank you guys very much for the combo. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it.
I did try Dawson, but
He's a busy guy. Hey, what can I
he's
say?
a busy guy. Yeah, he's got things to do, and
He'll be back.
What was your question going to be, Dawson? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I remember Grid talking earlier about how we discovered the Crucible and the Whatever podcast, and that I also discovered it around January, February, and I was just going to ask him what's something some guys could learn about game,
Well, somewhat.
about what?
like
Say
learn
again?
about game, like we talk about like the dating game and relationships, and
Well, it was too late to start that, man.
So how to get laid?
You mean like how would a man get game or elevate himself? Is that what you're asking?
Well, it's like I discovered the concept of game back in November, and I'm like, that's interesting. So I kind of that's how I discovered like the YouTube space and the manosphere, and then like I'm just a curious person, just exploring too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a record collector.
Oh, very nice.
And just like joining conversations, just seeing where it can add value to conversations, and yeah, that's pretty much why.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to burn through some super chats here. We got quite a few that didn't get read. Intel Wild Josie is a YouTube strumpet trying to get subs off her looks. Sure.
Intel.
I got a face for radio. I thought we already went over that.
Yeah. I know a game that Grid One is really good at, and he wins at every time. Oh, is this from earlier? Is this from? Yeah, it's from. Wow, that was like 4 hours ago. Let's get some better ones here. All right, so, what about the frozen embryos thrown in a bin? I'm assuming that was during the abortion argument. I read this one. It didn't get the reaction that they probably were thinking about. Christ is King, again from Intel Wild. $5 from Intel Wild again, just for whatever. Intel Wild again for $5. I feed bears and men can coexist. I feel bears and men can coexist, but not with women. Together with the bears, we can have diversity. That's pretty funny.
Well, if you had bears plus women plus men, you men could actually survive better because the bear would be well fed off the woman, and then you could be left.
That's true. That's true. They don't appreciate it when I make that point on whatever.
You only have to be faster than the slower woman in that scenario.
Yeah. Does God tell certain people to kill babies, kill all the time? Andrew. Sorry, Andrew left. I apologize. I did leave it up, though. He just decided not to address it.
I'm pretty sure Andrew doesn't think we should go around murdering people. He was trying to make a point with that hypothetical. Yeah.
And aborted babies don't have a right to live, Andrew. Yeah, you can't take Andrew literally during an argument, because you never know.
He is pro-life. Do not worry about that.
A baby can die before being born in the womb. Where's the right to live? Yeah, okay, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's the way we need to.
Good job for engaging, Melissa. That's Andrew is a tough one.
Yeah.
Not easy to debate.
Bring up Wes Watson right here now. Yeah, just kidding. Still love you, Andrew. Okay, yeah, great. A rainbow colored pill, probably not.
You've been drinking until wild.
I think
Your
Angel
chat's been
Berber sent
drinking.
$5. Red pill is the Pfizer of relationship dynamics. That's true. They offer therapeutics for symptoms, but have no intention of curing the disease. That's right. Okay, I think we're caught up, and if not, I apologize, but it's late. Sorry, Dawson, that you did not get more information. You are welcome to come back to the show. We will be live probably about this time again tomorrow night. This is an odd week because my son is shooting a Clays championship, so I can't do any daytime streams. So I will, except on Friday, I can. So I'm just going to be doing nighttime streams every night. And at the end of the day, it's pretty fun. I don't know about game. I'm not a game. I don't know that I'm really
Game for like
I'm not really
get
into
laid or for marriage.
Just in
Wicked
general.
Wally. Josie, we went over this last week. You have the face for radio, but unfortunately you don't have the voice. Yeah.
We were just talking about
did
my
hear
voice,
that.
my face there.
Yeah, I did hear that. Al, thanks for doing overtime. I'm new here and love the streams. Hey man, I really appreciate it. And I think that's it. I think that's all the chats that came in. Glenn was supposed to go live. I talked to him earlier about sending him. When I went offline, that I would send it over to him. But I don't. Has he gone live yet? I think he's held up, or maybe he went to sleep. He may have done me dirty and gone to sleep early.
He may have, because he ain't live. I was looking out for it, see if he was live or not. He ain't live.
Yeah, he was supposed to go live. He may have. He's been up for like a couple of days, I think. So that dude gets it done. He's pretty funny.
He was up all night last night because I was on his live last night. He was up all night.
I do have to. Well, maybe he's live now.
Who?
Glenn Lawrence.
I think Speakeasy is live right now.
Yeah, I think Glenn's live now too.
Yeah.
I seen earlier it was supposed to be around 2:30. I had my notification on, and my notification didn't go on.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not. No. I don't see it on.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not live. Yeah, where's his live at? Let's see. He may have thought he was. He might have gone to bed.
Yeah, he might have.
So.
Yeah, he was up all night last night.
He's got 6 people waiting. It's supposed to go on at 1:30 a.m. in California time. It's 2:05. That's a problem. Is that he's not ready yet? Maybe I'll throw these guys a speak. Where's Speak at?
I can start one if you want me to take it over. Can talk about game.
Game.
If you want to do that.
Where's that?
I'm not sure women can really speak too much on how to get women.
It's interesting because some can. There's some can, but some are really. What's the word I'm looking for here? Optimistic, maybe.
Managed broadcast.
They
yeah.
I don't really know what the word I'm looking for is.
Here, I started one.
Let's see where we at. Where am I at? There I am. I'm on the wrong page. Wow, we got a bunch of people talking. Let's see. Why isn't I live? I am live. Who's telling me I'm not live? Oh, that's in your chat. Okay, never mind. I was like, what are you doing? You're in my chat talking to me, but it's not. It's Josie's chat. I am live. Barely. Man, barely alive. sleepy.
Yeah, I was surprised you were still on.
Well, I normally go about this time, but yeah.
I mean, I'm live right now if you want to raid there, just if you want.
Where's I don't know where.
Yeah, I go.
Thanks for doing overtime. Yeah. Alf, I saw you in the other night. We were making fun about you eating the cats. SCHD says that. Let's see, you got yours in your private. Let me see what Speak's got going on. I hadn't been over there. I'm tired, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little tired.
No, Siege, you gotta come to my stream though.
Let's see. Game is false. Two men can say the same thing. It totally do. Yeah, it's true. I mean, look. Game is. I was actually having a conversation with my son not long ago because he doesn't think he'll ever have game, and I'm like, dude, one day you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna have game, right? Like it's just kind of the way it goes, right? Like you don't. Look, pickup artists can tell you a bunch of stuff, but that's usually a bunch of lies.
Just don't buy a course.
Yeah, don't pay money for it. Yeah, don't.
I haven't bought one yet, but that's important to kind of like evaluate who is like who the coaches are, and like it's an investment. So I'm not paying anything yet for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I can never pay for something of that nature.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever would. I mean, I kind of get why some guys get kind of desperate and do it, because it is a, what's the word am I looking for here?
Great, go to bed.
It's hard for people to, it's hard for people to like, it's hard for some men to talk to women. It's harder for some women to talk to or talk in a way that's meaningful. But one day it just kind of clicks, and or it never does. It's not. I don't know. I don't like the whole whatever
like industry.
Yeah, I don't like the PWA movement. I don't like any of it. Like they're all like charlatans to me. You know what I mean?
That's why I've been thinking critically about it, asking people questions.
Because like if you take Playing with Fire, he's it's one of the bigger channels. He comes off as very what's the word I'm looking for? Authentic, I guess. He comes off as very real, really he's I don't know. He's just he comes off really well, but he did very well against the based Oracle thing.
Yeah.
But a real debater would have destroyed him. Because he basically he just never faces the fact that he is actually he is deceiving. He's teaching men to deceive women. There's no backing on that. There's no there's no reality there. You know what I mean? Like I can show you the moves, but you can't. What happens when you run out of moves?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of has to just float, but I will tell you like what. I'm gonna speak for myself. Like it's never the second that I can tell that a dude was like into me. That was like no. So that would be like friend zone. Be the one who friend zones right away and like literally treat her like coworker and just be like, no, like I'm above that. Like I wouldn't sim for you. Like I'm above that. We're just friends. Like, So like because you're like too cool for her and you're not one of those sims, that makes you right away like better than most guys. Like more like you have more value because can't touch
Yeah.
this. Like you don't have to be like controlled by the pussy. Like some people are so freaking like thirsty for pussy, and it's such a fucking turn off. Like I can't even explain it. It's like they're like hungry puppies around bacon. Like don't be
I
that
mean,
guy.
that's actually not a bad. That's not a bad analogy, honestly. It's
Like, gimme.
it's really and
Like fuck off.
Some women love the smell of desperation. That's I think the real thing is that
For money.
I don't think that yeah, I mean, well, no, I think they look at they can really easily control the guy. He's if he's really that desperate, the at the end of the day it's very
Well, yeah,
Be
it
an
can work
asshole with a
either
sense of
way. It can
humor.
work either way.
yeah, it's and you can't teach somebody to be a good human in a course, even like a big course. So guys, I'm gonna send you over to Speak. Speak will he's doing panel hopping, so make him hop over to Josie's panel. You're doing a panel, aren't you, Josie?
Am I?
I don't know what you're doing. I'm like
I started the
honestly,
stream. If
I
you wanted
barely know
somebody
what
to
I'm
rate, I
doing.
could finish the game stuff if you want it.
I had Glenn set up, so it was easy to switch to Speakeasy because I have
Oh.
their links there. But and now Glenn's going to be mad because
Oh yeah, send it to Glenn's fine.
I couldn't go that far. I'm just too tired. He whatever. I know he won't get mad. Don't. I'm being funny. Don't get it. Don't come at me, chat. But he's doing panel hopping tonight. Are you doing a panel? He's doing panel takeover tonight. I'm actually really surprised he didn't try and come on here because I
can
don't
start
really.
a panel if anything, but I don't mind.
He's good.
Let's start a panel, chat.
Yeah, start a panel because I think open panel hops. So get Speak to come in. Come
All right.
Come
I
hang
can
out.
join your panel, Josie.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop the link.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the button here in just a minute, and
Kick me out so I can start one.
Kick you out. You
My
kick
stream
yourself out.
siege.
You kick yourself out.
I can kick. Okay, I'm gonna go start my panel. Okay.
Okay. Now
How
I'm
am I
gonna
gonna
hop
do
over.
this?
I'll hop over to Speakeasy and tell him to come over and hang out on your panel.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this stream and stop this one. Okay, come over to my channel, chat. Once again, I'll put the panel, guys that are already on this panel. I'll put the link on my stream. That's gonna be like pinned at the top. Okay. So
I'm doing a. Never mind. She's talking to her guys. We're confusing people.
not to you guys that are on the panel, except Grid. The StreamYard link is gonna be pinned at the top of the chat.
Yeah.
So
all right, guys.
you gotta come back here.
Thanks for having us on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Come
Good
back,
night,
dog,
Grid.
when I'm away.
Having us,
Some
Good
girls
one.
give me money.
Yep. See you guys.